And good afternoon, my friends. It is June 17th, 2024 at 1:33 p.m. Yeah, I've been cycling like crazy all into the evening yesterday, collecting cans and so forth. Made about $10, hard work. And again this morning until after, just before lunch. So I'm going to head out again and collect more later on in another spot. I'm starting to research this and everything. So I'm getting a big workout. And as you can see, it shows. It's showing more and more that I'm working out really strong and really hard and really wonderfully. And I'm marring the weight gain and muscle gain I'm starting to get again, which is cool. It's awesome. Okay. And I feel very proud of myself. Getting stronger, getting better, getting faster. Oh, yeah. And it feels great. Only down drinking 1 or 2 beers a day. Yippee yahoo! Who needs more? Withdraw, be gone. But anyways, yeah. I hope everybody had a nice Father's Day yesterday with their family and so forth, and a very safe weekend of all the tourists coming into towns and so forth. Hope everyone's watching their purses and being careful of criminal activities around them as well. Because as you know, when tourists come, criminals tend to lurk in the areas there as well, unfortunately. Okay, well, what I want to talk about this afternoon are the signs of drug trafficking, drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, and so forth, from witnessing things like that over the years. So, if you live in an apartment, a neighborhood, or even a building, these are the signs to look out for of suspicious activity. Now, there's a difference between each activity, what it can point to as well. We'll touch base on that too. Okay. Number one activity I'm noticing is when someone repeatedly keeps leaving and coming to a place of residence of someone with no bags, no groceries, no nothing, several times a day, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And drugs are known to be known for this group of people. So if someone keeps repeatedly leaving someone's place back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, several times a day, there's something fishy right there. You have to use your head about that. Like, I understand going to the store to get a pop for somebody, or getting cat litter or groceries or something, or maybe a couple of beers or something. But if they go back and forth with hardly anything, maybe a small pouch or whatever, that's kind of suspicious, like what's going on there, Like instead of giving a big batch of something like drugs or weed or pills or whatever, maybe they are possibly getting little batches of drugs or weed or God knows what out in various several exits and enters, I don't know. Another thing drug dealers tend to do, and drug traffickers, they send people to go to high schools to sell drugs in high schools. Also, I noticed that one person has another tactic that they can use also. They can go panhandle and also sell drugs or get drugs from a drug dealer driving by, who may give them the drugs or a small pouch of drugs to the drug dealer or mule or whatever, who returns it back to the place of residence where all the drugs are distributed or shared or whatever. So these are speculations, and these are very possible suspicious activities that may happen when it comes to drug trafficking or drugs and so forth. High schools, panhandlers can actually get drugs from drug dealers, hand out to people too as they drive by. It's another big thing. So panhandlers, watch panhandlers carefully. They could sell drugs on there and give it to people in cars, or receive them from the drug dealer as they panhandle in the area. That is one thing that we have to consider and observe about. That's another thing. And generally speaking, when visitors leave a residence for less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, it generally means probably a drug dealer is going on, meaning they're exchanging some kind of drug deal going on. Yeah, they're going over to somebody's place and say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm going to say here to say hi and hi, blah blah, bye." Several people go in a place for 5-10 minutes to say hi and blah 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 and leave again. Yeah, right. Give me a break. So that's one thing. If people stay in a residence for 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, it probably is a drug deal going on. But drug dealers usually just stay, like a drug deal only is about a minute or two, 5 minutes tops. So if several people go to a person's place, could be a drug dealer going on. If it's under 5 minutes or so, they don't usually dawdle in their deals. They just want people in and out to sell their drugs or whatever they're selling. That's the thing. And yeah, that's one thing to look out for and observe about. If prostitution is going on, they tend to stay a little longer. Again, there are several visits from several people coming into the residence of someone who's prostituting, and they stay within an hour, 2 hours, and then they leave. But all these people going in for an hour or two in the middle of the night and then leaving, just say hi, have a conversation, and leave again? Are they having counselor services there? I don't think so. I mean, that's a big sign there's prostitution going on there. Yeah, they're going over there to have counseling sessions with somebody at 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning, and midnight. Give me a break. Come on. They're there for prostitution services, obviously, and they're buying prostitution services. If it's over an hour or two, maybe half an hour, maybe. Drug dealers tend to stay maybe a minute, 2, 5 minutes, no more than 10 minutes tops. But yeah, come on, you got to do the math. I mean, yeah, we just came in to say hi, then we're going to leave and say bye and leave 5 minutes later. We're just going to say hi to them, make sure they're okay, and leave an hour later, all throughout the night, a bunch of us. I mean, come on, give me a break. Use your head. And the thing is, they go and come in usually where cameras are not there usually, or the tricky ones tend to go back and forth, the back and the front, depending. And yeah, some of them get a little sneaky and try to go in the front anyway. Most time when they go back and forth too much, they take the back door usually, where the camera is not there. So that's another thing to think about, Sherlock's out there. That's another thing to think about. And of course, they try to distract from the criminal activities by blaming someone, a scapegoat. And I feel like I'm that person who is a scapegoat for their illegal activities. Bullied, harassed, assaulted, threatened, and so forth. They can also, what can they do? They can try to blackmail you too, I guess, in some cases, I imagine. They can do all kinds of dirty tactics, try to cover up their drugs and the illegal activities going on. And especially where there's no camera, that's where it gets really bad. So the thing is, what I'm thinking about in cases like this, the best thing to do to make this community safe, more safe and well established, the person who are known for violence, who have committed assaults against people like me, who has threatened me, people suspected of drug trafficking and prostitution, should be moved to where a camera is. So all right then and there, the illegal activity shall and should stop or be notated of suspicious people going over there. Now, these are the things that community housing and neighborhoods and houses have to, well, duplexes and so forth have to be on the lookout for. That's the thing. And that's the way it is. Make a journal, make a notation of when they leave, what they're wearing, how tall they are, how many times they leave. And if you hear people leaving a place several times a night with somebody, or making noise and calling someone's name and so forth, report it. Make a journal and report it to security, report it to police. God knows my calls for help and my reports have gone unnoticed, because they lie and say all these things. But of course, they're racist too. So, we all have to pull together our weight and stop these drug traffickers, this illegal activity going on, and stop blaming a scapegoat who is trying to make this a safer and better community against these criminals. And if they all work together trying to get rid of one person, trying to expose them for what they are, that is considered conspiracy as well, which is a very big bad thing. Including defamatory remarks is another big thing as well. So these things don't happen overnight. It takes time and so forth. Now, it doesn't matter what happens in the day. It doesn't matter if it happens at night. If you see these suspicious telltale signs of criminal activity going on, then you know something is going on. So, yeah. Those are the things we have to look out for in all communities. Be safe. We don't want any overdoses going on anywhere. Even a whiff of anything smoke-wise, weed or crack or meth or whatever, if there's fentanyl in there, even a small whiff, you can just drop over dead. If you're good people and you all get a whiff, bam, you can all drop over dead. And you never know what a fentanyl deal could be going on within the building. And it might happen to anyone, anytime of these drug users. And these drug dealers are mainly to blame. Not really giving a damn who lives or dies or so forth, especially when it comes to fentanyl overdoses we want to prevent. So we want to prevent overdoses and fentanyl crisis from happening in this community. Please watch out for the signs of suspicious activity. Last thing you want is to walk down the hallway, get a whiff of some fentanyl-laced smoke from a user who has OD'd, and you don't want to OD from that too, do you? So these are the things, not just for stopping the criminal activity, but to stop also overdose crisis from happening in our communities as well. Oh yeah, the fentanyl crisis is the main thing I am concerned about, and that is the number one thing. Prevent any more ODs and prevent deaths. And stop the drug trafficking. Prostitution too can bring drugs as well. Both come hand in hand usually. Most of the time, very common actually, but not all the time, but it's always good to look out for both signs. Instead of making illegal entries and checking my place, why don't you do that with the person who is suspected of drug trafficking or prostitution? How come you don't know, because they protect those people, it seems like, which is not right. It's not right at all, and this has got to stop. Anyways, I had a great day cycling. I'm getting stronger, faster, and more leaner and more muscle gain. Yay. Eating good and everything. Since X has left, I'm doing so much better without that bad influence of a guy who goes with somebody else who is totally not the greatest influence at all. So yeah, good afternoon, Dave. It's good to see you. I came here to take a little break in between cycling. I cycled this morning. I had lunch, nice lentil soup with spices and carrots and broccoli, with a nice, wonderful tasting brownie for lunch. For breakfast, I skipped breakfast. I slept in. I meant to get up earlier to collect some more cans and bottles in another neighborhood. And I just beat the trucks, the recycling trucks. I was racing to get what I could, and they were racing around. So I managed to make about $10 there with cans, no bottles this time. Thank God, just cans. The bottles are too heavy. So thank God it was all cans, and I made $10 right there. So that's good. I got duct tape to get my air conditioning up later on. It's going to be a high of 42 tomorrow, 37 with the humidex here in Ottawa, 42 in other places. But yeah, keep cool, drink lots of water, get those Gatorades handy. And if you have no Gatorade, put some salt into your water. About a teaspoon will do, depending how hot it is. Have a cool bath. Put a cool towel on your head sometimes if you have no air conditioning. But a cool bath, a nice cool towel on you will be good. If you have no Gatorade, put a teaspoon of salt in your water a couple of times a day, especially tomorrow at plus 40 around there. If you're going to sweat more, you're going to need more electrolytes, lots of water, nice cool bath, a cool towel. Don't want anyone getting heat stroke or anything tomorrow as well. So, and no ODs or anything too. So watch out for suspicious activity. Keep hydrated tomorrow. Get those Gatorades handy. or put a teaspoon of salt into your water several times a day, depending how hot it is. If you have no air conditioning, a cool bath, cool towel on your head, and so forth. So, Megwitch, that's about it for now. Take care, stay safe, and I'm going to head out biking again in another area. And yeah, talk to you guys soon. Megwitch.